Do you feel the need to keep telling the story about your loved one, how they died, their life? Do you feel the need to keep telling it over and over and over again, to keep revisiting how the person died, and you just don't understand why you're doing that, and maybe you feel a little crazy, like maybe I'm messed up, I'm overboard, I'm too much because I keep talking about it? This is a normal need. Not everybody does it, but it is a very normal need when you're grieving. And it's really your way of accepting that grief. It's a way of acknowledging the loss of the person and integrating that into your life in a way to be able to move on and find your new normal, because the person's not coming back. So this is healthy. It is a way to embrace and acknowledge that your life has changed, they're gone, and let's find my new life now, especially if it was somebody you were very close to, or your spouse. Your part of your identity is probably connected to them, and it is so important to do whatever you need to do to be able to find your new normal, to be able to move on in life, not get over them, but to be able to move on and find your new life the way it is now, in the way it needs to be now, in a way that's healthy, in a way that's whole. So I definitely relate to this because, and I don't know, if my daughter had died, if it was a car accident, I'd probably be going around telling everybody the dangers of certain ways of driving, and I'd probably be educating on that. You know, the fact that she died from fentanyl, an accidental overdose of fentanyl in March 3rd of 2020 is definitely part of why I want to tell her story. But I have come to realize that a lot of that is because I need to. It's part of me learning to accept that she's gone, and also honor her and not forget her and not minimize what I feel as a mom. I've looked for opportunities to tell her story. Yeah, I want to help other people live. I want to help people to know about the dangers of fentanyl and live. That is definitely part of it, but it's not the whole reason why. It's for me. It's for me to heal. It's for me to integrate, that I lost my only daughter, and she's not alive anymore, and I'll never have her here on earth. Yes, I have hopes and dreams of being with her in heaven and seeing her in heaven and so forth. But bottom line, I'll never see her on this earth again in the way that it should have been or it could have been. So it's not wrong. I totally identify with this, probably more than I even realize I do. So, and then I always think of in the Bible, a scripture on each one of my videos, and can't directly think of that, but I'm just thinking about the Bible overall. A lot of the Old Testament books talk about the genealogy of families and who begat who and who, the Bible is definitely a history book, right? It's more than just a history book. It's God's word, and it's alive and active, sharper than a double-edged sword, piercing through bone and marrow to judge the thoughts and attitudes of our hearts. That's in Hebrews. But it is definitely a history book, and it emphasizes family, and it does remember stories, and it teaches people, the Israelites were told many times to remember and to do their festivals and celebrate the Passover, etc., in order to remember what God had done and remember what had happened, what mistakes people made and lives, and just learning from the past. Bottom line, learning from the past. And that is important to still do. Do we want to live in the past? Do we want to stay stuck in the past? No. That is why I want to encourage you to tell and retell and revisit in your mind, and telling other people about the story of your loved one, about their life, about what was special about them, good memories you had, bad memories if you got to talk. And not everybody wants to hear those, so maybe it's a counselor, mentor, someone safe, or in a support group, etc. But it is important to. Have you ever even told their story? Maybe you never have. It's doing yourself a disservice to not tell their story. I encourage you, tell their story. Message me and I'll pick up the phone and we'll talk, and you can tell me their story if you don't feel like you can tell anyone else, because you need to. Trust me, it will bless you. It will help you. It is very important. That's keeping some of your grief inside, and we got to get the grief out. That's what we always say. That's what I always say. We got to get the grief out. It's very unhealthy to keep it inside. So please don't feel like you're messed up or crazy or wrong to keep wanting to tell their story. Okay? It's so important. So I think of also Jesus told stories. He told of things. We the whole Bible didn't get written down until it was told. They used to tell one another. Everything got passed through stories. And that's how we have the Bible. That's how we have a lot of history books, is by word of mouth. It all started by word of mouth. So I think, to me, that kind of reinforces things in writing are great, and we have all this technology with so many things that are visual and in writing now. But we also need to talk. We also need to tell one another. We also still need to be together. Facebook isn't it, y'all. I realize it's a part, and it's a good thing. It really is. If it's used right, it can add to more communication, especially to people who live far away from us, and multiple, we can communicate something to many, many people. I see how prayer requests are just, people run with prayer requests on Facebook. So that's a great way to get a, very important prayer requests out right away, or to celebrate, good times, anniversaries, vacations and things like that. It's a great way to celebrate. It's not a wrong thing, but it should not be the only way we communicate with people, or that we think, well, I put on Facebook so everyone should know. I just don't agree with that. It's one means of communication. Emails, text is one means of communication. I think it's a great way. Should it be the only way, though? Absolutely not. We need to be together. We need to talk. We need to share. We need to have people listen to us. Why does the Bible say, be slow to speak, quick to listen, and slow to become angry? We need to listen to one another. Don't you feel so loved and supported and safe with somebody who really listens and doesn't interrupt you, and just, you can tell they're listening and paying attention to you, and they're not distracted by something else. Maybe they even repeat it back, part of what you said, or another way that they're letting you know they've heard you. That is so valuable. That's what we try to do at our support group, which is every Monday night in Newport Richey at Calvary Chapel Worship Center, in case you're local and you want to come visit. There are other support groups as well, through hospice and grief share. God raised up this support group through giving me that heart and vision, and he gave me the way we have it. It's an ongoing yearly support group, but they're all there to meet different people's needs. But come try it out. You just might like it. A lot of the people, we don't have a huge group, but the people who come, they're like, why don't more people come and get help this way? Because they're getting that help, and they're being open, and they're seeing the value of it. So another thing I'm doing is a grief workshop that's completely free on March 8th, and I'll be doing another one on March 29th, and others throughout the year. Maybe different locations, but these next two are going to be at a clinic, medical clinic, off 52 and 19 in Hudson, completely free. There's going to be refreshments too, so I'm very thankful for Vork Medical Clinic that's sponsoring this. And we just come out. It's 2 hours of your time. If you don't like it after an hour, you can leave. You never know. It might help you. And I'm just sharing things that I've learned, that have helped me through my grief journey of losing my daughter to sudden death, and then having to try to get custody of the grandkids and not being able to, and having to let them go, and learning to be okay with that, but still love them. And I relate in my own way. We all relate in different ways. We're all different. Every loss is important. Every loss is unique. But you need to tell the story. You need to learn to. I wasn't really a storyteller. And because I wanted to educate and bring awareness to the dangers of fentanyl and try to help people's lives be saved, I got over that and I learned to tell my story, and now it's natural for me. I could tell the story the way I tell it in my sleep probably, okay? So that is good. That's part of the benefit of me doing these videos. But I totally do it for you. And if there's any other subjects you want talked about on my channel, please let me know. Please comment. Please reach out to me and come to the workshop. I will put this in the description of this video, but if I don't, just ask me when the next workshop is. What you can do is email me at my email, which is Julie, Julie, letter K, ministries @gmail.com. juliekministries@gmail.com. I'll put it in the video here. That's how you can register, or just tell me you're coming, or I want to know about more of them, or whatever questions you have. I'd be happy to answer them. Come, get out of your box, get uncomfortable, be bold enough to take a step and get a counselor, or go to a workshop, or go to a support group, because you're going to benefit from it. And if you don't benefit from one, then you can go to another one and find the one that will benefit you. Okay? Trust me, it works. God bless you. See you next week for another way that we can feel crazy because of the things we go through in grief. Another things that we can experience. So I'm going to be ongoing talking about more things every week. And I hope you join me. God bless. Bye-bye.